The good news is that this side seems a lot better. There's like really not much to sand over here, maybe like a couple spots. And that's it. So it's gonna hopefully be a lot faster than I thought it was gonna be. The bad news is I'm not gonna use the power sander. I'm gonna use my hand, but it'll be fine. I just basically finished the sanding. And I want to wash the van, so I got this ladder, but it's so heavy. I'm really I'm so overwhelmed right now. I just finished washing it and I'm like so physically exhausted. Something I think I might have realized today is how much work it is to do this. Like, I knew it would be some work. You know what it is? I think it's after doing the painting and the floor and the couch and then sanding and then all the disappointments, all the frustration, things not working out, things not going the way that they're supposed to. It just feels so overwhelming, like emotionally, psychologically, and physically. It's a lot. And it's at the point where any rational person would quit. It's like, okay, it's time to like get an apartment. I guess I'm at the point where I'm re-examining what I want. Like, why am I doing this? Do I still want it, and why do I want it, and what exactly is it that I want? I thought about getting just a simple, like a cargo van or something smaller, because it would just be easier, less work, easier to drive. But where would I put my stuff? And then I'm like, do I downsize my stuff even more? Do I give away all of my stuff down to the bare essentials so I can live in a smaller vehicle? Maybe. So again, why do I want to do this? I want to wake up in the mountains. I want to open the door and be right in front of a lake or a mountain, be in the trees. Do I want to live there forever? Probably not. So then, should I be thinking of something more temporary? I have to sell this van. I've thought of all kinds of possibilities of just, fixes for it, just to keep it and go, but something's telling me that I really need to sell it. You know when you get in your car and you're just like, hey, why is my steering wheel upside down? I'm going back to the store now to get a different color of paint that matches the current color of the van, because I'm hoping that I can get away with either just touching up the spots that I sanded down, or just going over the van with one coat or a light coat or something, so I use less paint, so it costs me less effort, less time, so that I can just sell this van and get a new one and move on, and hopefully save my energy so that I can work on my actual van that I'm going to leave with. I think I found the color that they used. I think it's this. Okay, I bought the spray can because I figure if it does match, it saves me a lot of time and effort and everything else. However, as I'm approaching the van, I think it's a lot darker than the can. Okay, so that's way off. There is no color that matches the van. It's a blue, but a very dark blue, a dark blue close to black. It's not black, it's not blue, it's not gray. And it's not here. So the only option I have right now is to repaint the van in a completely different color, and therefore buying a whole bunch of spray paint in cans, or I can get one of these, which might be cheaper, less color options, but I might get lucky, and if I get this dark gray one, maybe it'll match. So I just went in, returned the spray can, and got another can of this, and it still doesn't really match, but whatever, whatever. Plus it's glossy and the van is matte. I feel like so much keeps going wrong that I just want to give up. Like, I just want to rage quit. So like, pick up the van and throw it in the trash. Obviously I'm not going to do that. I feel like I'm getting a message from my guides or whoever to accept what is and to submit control to the universe. I keep getting that message in different ways, and then it validates itself, or it's validated to me, and I am trying to do that, and it's not as easy as you would think when every moment of every day you're basically thinking about how you're stuck and you want to just be free, and you just want to go and you just want to run. And I think that's exactly the point, because when you're trying to manifest something, like, we create our reality. So if my reality, if my thoughts and energy are going into the belief that I am stuck and that I'm trying but things aren't working, and that I'm trapped and that I'm struggling and it's hard and I'm frustrated, well, that's what I'm bringing into my experiences, is more of that. So I feel like I'm getting the message to let go of that and allow things to be easier, and allow things to fall into place. And it feels like there is something that's meant to happen, that's meant to roll out in my life, and it's coming as long as I stop resisting it, basically. And buying this van was part of the journey, that it wasn't really a mistake, even though it can seem like a mistake. If I didn't buy this van, I probably wouldn't have made a lot of other decisions. I probably would still have all my furniture and everything else, because I wouldn't have really made the decision. Like, it wouldn't have been a decision. It still would have been a potential. So in buying the van, that was really like, it set a certain course of action and motion for my life. So it doesn't mean that I was meant to be in this van when I leave. It just means I was meant to take that step forward. So I'm going to explain to you basically what I did. I mixed I did my best to mix 4 parts of the paint in the can to 1 part of paint thinner. And I mixed it kind of half-assed in that little thing with a stick. And so far I used just this little bit of paint that was in this little pen to paint an entire first coat on, I guess you would call that a quarter of the van, because I didn't do the bottom. I don't think I'm going to do the bottom. We will see, but I left that as an option. But I still do have to do the top and every other side of the van. This is probably a really bad choice of place to put any of this stuff. So I forgot that this paint is oil-based, which means I'm making a big mess. I'm going to wash the cup that I was trying to measure the paint in, and obviously the paint's got everywhere, and it's not like the kind of paint that you paint the walls of your house in. Oil-based paint is an absolute nightmare. So that basically took me about half an hour, I think, and so it doesn't take that long. The hardest part, though, is mixing the paint. And like I said, Oil-based paint is terrible. It sticks to everything. It's just a nightmare. So if you have a choice to spray paint or to use brushes, I would go with the spray paint because it's so much less of a hassle from what I can tell. I'll be painting the next one with spray paint, so I'll be able to tell you for sure. I called it a day. I packed it in after that quarter of a van that I did because I wasn't planning on painting today. I'm physically burnt out, but I know I have to get it done because there's only a few sunny days in this month, and today was one of them. So tomorrow I'm going to try to finish the whole thing. Day 2. I am taping up the van, and I already hate my life. I regret everything. Why am I doing this? I sprayed the front, and yeah, I totally stand by what I said. You should definitely spray instead of using a roller because it's so much faster and easier, and there's no paint stuck to me. It was amazing. It's a little more expensive, but if you can afford it, it's worth it. I'm looking at this now, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna actually have to do another coat of the black, which slows me down a little bit. So let's see how it goes. Okay, I definitely like the front this color, especially the grille. I did not really complete the first coat of the silver or the gray, whatever, but once the black part dries, which I did get done today, I'm gonna take the tape off and make a nice straight line with the tape so I can fix that. And tomorrow I should be able to fix the first coat of the gray and then let it dry, and then a few hours later I'm just gonna do a second coat. Welcome to day 1 million. I mean 3, I think. I'm actually quite surprised that leaving this, like, after 2 days. I thought the roller was gonna be all hard and crusty, and it's actually steel soft. Pretty good, huh? I've been wanting to show this part on video, but as soon as I touch the paint, I can't hold it with one hand, so I can't hold my phone at the same time. I need to hold it with 2 hands, and as soon as I touch it, everything gets paint, like my hands get full of paint, and I can't pick up the phone after. So just to tell you, it's supposed to be 4 parts paint, 1 part thinner, and I've just been kind of eyeballing it, which is probably not recommended, but I don't care. Perfect, I think. I did manage to do 1 coat around the entire van, just about. I'm missing a couple of spots, and that took me about 4 hours. But what happened was I basically did like a second coat on the majority of the van. Okay, so day 1 I did like half an hour, 45 minutes of painting. Day 2 I did almost 1 coat around the entire van, so it was like a half a coat. and day 3, today's day 3, right? I did a second coat around that half, and I did the first coat around the second half. So I basically did one full coat around the van, except for like 2 spots that I missed that I couldn't do because I couldn't see anything. The sun was blaring in my eyes and I couldn't move the van because it's all taped up. So I have to come back out tomorrow morning to fix those couple spots. And I don't know, just touch it up. Tomorrow's my last day, so I'm gonna just do the best that I can and see what happens. I was hoping I was gonna be able to finish it tonight, so I was patiently waiting for about 4 hours to pass, even though I should have waited a lot longer than that. And it's only been 2 hours, but it's already like 7 o'clock-ish, something like that, p.m. And it started to get really cold. No idea why, but yeah, so I packed it up. So I have one more day. One more day. So many days. It's day 4 or 5, or I don't know anymore. I didn't film yesterday because I felt it was redundant, but today's the last day, I'm pretty sure, because all I'm really missing is right there on the top that I couldn't really get. I did the majority of it with, I did the majority of the rest with just standing on a chair, or, you know, as far as I could reach. But for that part, I'm gonna need a ladder for sure. So I'm gonna go drag it out of the yard, and I'm really not excited to climb it and get on top of the roof. It always looks really easy when you watch other people do it on YouTube, but then when you actually get up to it, no. I don't know how to describe this. I'm on the top of the van, and it is giving me a little bit of anxiety. I've been sitting here breathing for a minute to get my bearings, but I keep feeling like I'm going to either fall off or fall through the roof or God knows what else. Did I ever tell you I'm afraid of heights? I have absolutely no idea. I don't think this translates very well, but it is quite the reach down to finish this part of the roof. These are the moments where I wish I had someone else to be like, hey, can you get me this? So I don't have to get down off the van just to come back up. You kind of get used to it after a while. I get now why people build decks on the roof of their van. It's kind of fun. So, almost done. That's the first coat. One more coat for that top part, and I'm basically done.